The last step in finishing up my watercolor landscape is adding in those final details. I'm going to start by adding in some watercolor details with darker colors over the lighter colors. And to start off, I am adding in little shrubs and clumps of grass to my field and the line of trees that separate the field from the lavender field. And I'm just using a really dark green that I mixed up with Jadeite Genuine and Indigo. And I'm looking at my picture and following along where you can see little tufts of grass and clumps of trees and bushes. And this just makes it feel more grounded, like the field isn't floating in midair. I'm now adding in the green details of the lavender stems, just very loosely in the rows of the lavender. Again, I'm mixing Jadeite Genuine and Indigo, two of my very favorite colors. A little Payne's Gray to top it off. You can see the painting is starting to come together, even without the details of the lavender flowers themselves. Just by going in and adding this greenery, the stems, makes it look a lot more like the photo. I'm now going in with a lighter green to resemble more of the stems of the lavender. The darker green helped illustrate the shadows, and this lighter green gives more definition to the lavender stems. When I'm painting vertical lines like this, I like to orient my brush vertically. It helps me maintain more control of my brush in creating a nice, smooth, vertical line. You can see the field is really starting to come together now. Now it's time for my gouache. I've mixed up a few different purples that range from more of a pink to a deeper indigo purple. I'm going to sprinkle them throughout the field, kind of no rhyme or reason. I will be looking at the photo for reference, but I'm going to do my own thing a little bit here. I'm not too worried about replicating exactly what I see. I just want to get the feel of a beautiful French lavender field. I'm using my spotter brush, which just has a very fine tip, and I'm just tapping in little splotches of paint to resemble the tiny little lavender flowers. And as I go, I'm switching up which color I'm using so that it has a really nice transition from color to color. I don't really want there to be big clumps of pink and clumps of purple. I want them to blend in all together. Now that I've created some of the establishing flowers, I'm going in on the stems that I've painted with my light green, and I'm adding in little dots up and down the stems to look just like the lavender flowers. In some of the larger areas, I'm going in with my watercolor brush, the size 2 round brush, and putting in more broad strokes. Now I'm using my size 2 round brush to add in more details in the foreground. When you look at a stalk of lavender, the flowers tend to grow opposite each other vertically along the stem. So I'm trying to replicate that as I paint the foreground. I'm almost done adding in all the details that I want to with the lavender flowers. I'm just really happy with how it's turning out. Just a few more details in this front section and I think I'm about done, and I'm just so happy with how this turned out, and now I just want to hop on a plane and go to France. Now that it's done and everything has dried, it's time to remove my artist tape. Remember when you're pulling it down to go slowly and to pull with a 90-degree angle. This will help you not pull off any of the paint. And as you go slowly, it will help you not pull off a lot of the paper fibers. There's nothing quite like a nice crisp edge when you're peeling off your paint. I have a little bit that bled through at the top, but that's okay. It's not always going to be perfect. I'm still so happy with how it turned out. The last step is to sign my name and step back and admire the work. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to paint watercolor landscapes, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.